Hi guys, it's Janine. So I don't usually do videos, and that's for a couple of reasons. A, I don't like the way I sound. B, I never know where to look, so my eye's probably going to jump all over the place. And I just think it's a little weird, but I love you guys. And today, when I went to the mailbox, I got Lethal Temptations paperback in the mail. And I had to share it with you guys. So, are you ready? Here's Blackie. Excuse the glare. I don't know how to get rid of it. Alright. It's a thick book, guys. And this is the back where Lacey's featured. So do we all agree that Nick Bennett makes a great cover, or what? Come on. Right? He's the perfect Blackie. Alright, so I'm going to read an excerpt from the book, and it's from Lacey's point of view. Bear with me. I suck at reading out loud, but we're going to give it a go, okay? There is a little boy who lives in my dreams and forever in my heart. A little boy named Jack Parrish Jr. He was my little brother, and I was 5 years old when I watched him die. Literally, I stood there and did nothing as he ran into the street. I thought I would forget that someday the memory would fade as I became older, yet it seemed to only grow more vivid with every year I aged, and he didn't. Lala, that was what he used to call me because he couldn't say Lacey. Lala, he cheered as his wobbly legs ran out the front door. I was only a kid myself, but I knew that he shouldn't be outside without an adult, and more than that, I knew he could get hurt. I tried to get my dad's attention, telling him to help me get Jack back inside the house, but he was too engrossed in the madness that consumed him. I had never seen my dad like that before, so out of control, so far away in his own mind that my cries went unheard. I ran outside as my father repeatedly beat down the walls of our home. I can recall him shouting about bugs, but I thought he was looking for creepy little critters, the ones I would shout for him to stop on. That wasn't the case, and I learned later on that my father was looking for the bugs that feds plants when they are looking to send your ass to jail. That was the first of many memories I have of my dad losing his battle with his maker. His maker is his mind, and it reigns over everything. My father is Jack Parrish, president of the Satan's Knights MC, and he is manic depressive. He didn't know at the time of Jack Jr.'s death he was mentally ill, and it wasn't until after my little brother was buried 6 feet in the ground he sought help and was diagnosed. He blames himself for his death, but it wasn't his fault. It was mine. I stood there as Jack Jr. smiled and pointed at me. Lala, look! I should have run after him. I could have asked a neighbor to help. Something, anything, nothing. Instead, I stood there listening to my father shout at the demons inside his head and watched as the car sped down the street. I wanted to believe that I called out to him, that I shouted at the driver to stop, but I remember nothing other than standing there and watching as the tires skid across the tar and over my baby brother. I tried to block out the last sound he made, a shrill cry that rings over and over again in my ears until it fades to silence. The silence is worse, though, because it reminds me that when his cries faded, so did his life. My father snapped out of it too late, and when he made his way to Jack, he fell to the ground and cradled the child he lost. His maker won that day, and mine was born. Today would have been Jack's 15th birthday. It's also the one day a year my father goes off the grid, a day when he struggles to find the courage to end his life and be reunited with his son. It doesn't matter I'm still here, and I suppose it shouldn't, because I let him die. I'm the reason my dad didn't get to watch his little boy grow into a man. I'm also to blame for why my mom will never dance with her son. It's my fault I'll never hear him call me Lala again. I usually let my father have the day as I wait in agony for the moment one of his brothers comes knocking on my door to tell me that it's over. Jack Parrish, the toughest man I've ever known, has finally succumbed to his maker and is now at peace. Not today. Today I foolishly want to be enough. I wanted what I suppose any surviving child would want, and that was for him to look at me and realize I am still here, and that I have been here for the last 13 years wishing to be enough for him. Just once I wanted him to see me, just me. You're selfish, you're foolish, he'll never see you. All he sees when he looks at you is the boy he lost and the girl he was left with. I lifted my eyes to the rearview mirror and stared at the dark eyes reflected at me. I had my father's eyes, identical in color, and when you looked closely, the pain in his eyes were mirrored in mine. I tore my gaze away, glancing out the window, and stared at the dog pound, the Satan's Knights clubhouse, the place where my father spent most of his days and nights. I slid out of the car, slamming the door behind me and beeping the alarm as I started for the compound. The parking lot was mostly empty, and I didn't see my dad's bike, but my eyes zeroed in on the Harley parked in front of the clubhouse. The bike was as badass as its owner, and just as beautiful too. Blackie, the tortured soul with a patch declaring him the vice president of the Satan's Knights. My father's right hand and his best friend, his brother. Blackie, he'd make me feel better. He always did. Always. Alright guys, so that's the excerpt. That's the book. And Jennifer's going to be posting a Google form for people to be able to purchase signed paperbacks. We're not doing that many of them because I have limited supply right now. But if you want to have the book signed by both me and Nick, it'll be available tonight, the form. Alright, so thank you for hanging out with me for like 10 minutes. And this wasn't that bad, but I don't think I'll do it again. Alright guys, I'll see you on the other side.